This video relates to the Developing Youth Track and Field Athletes project. To find out more about this project, please visit our ResearchGate page. You will find the links in the video description. In this video, I will be presenting an overview of this paper, which has been published in the International Journal of Sports Science and Coaching with colleagues Tom Cummins from the University of Limerick and Phil Hayes from Northumbria University. I'm not going to go into all of the detail from the paper, but I hope to give you a flavour of some of the key findings. The story of the current paper starts with some earlier research we completed looking at a large database of results. From that database, we were able to establish some facts about the development of youth track and field athletes. We did this by looking at whether successful seniors have been successful at junior level, by looking at the relationship between performances at different age grades, and by examining the impact of relative development on success at youth level. You can see some of the findings here. The key findings were that success at youth level was not related to success at under 20 or senior level, that performances across age grades were highly variable, and that an individual's development relative to their peers, for which we used the proxy measure of relative age, had a large effect on who was successful in youth athletics. The database analysis offered an ideal opportunity to compare the reality of athlete development to coach and parent perceptions of athlete development. So we devised a survey and took it to a range of athletic events. We first asked participants to estimate what percentage of top 20 ranked senior athletes had also been ranked in the top 20 at each age grade. You can see parents' and coaches' responses here, along with the results from our database study published in 2018. The general pattern is correct. Although parents overestimated the number of individuals who were successful in early adolescence, and coaches underestimated the number of senior athletes who had experienced success at under 20 level. Each respondent was also asked to identify the 3 factors that they felt most contributed to success in youth track and field. The most common reasons were shared by coaches and parents, but there were some differences in terms of the order of these factors. The most pronounced difference between coaches and parents concerned relative development. Example statements include physical development for age, physically mature for their age. While 19% of coaches identified this factor within their top 3, only 8% of parents did so. What appears to be ability at youth level is often only early maturation. So this is, I think, an important discussion point for coaches and parents to have around success in youth athletics. In terms of key decisions about the types of activities that young athletes should pursue, parents tended to suggest that children should start training year-round at an earlier age, and that children should specialise in one sport at an earlier age. In terms of track and field athletics, the research would support the coaches in recommending delaying specialisation until late adolescence at the earliest. For example, Diane Huxley has published some excellent research tracing the development of world-class Australian athletes. In terms of year-round training and pursuing multi-event training, the evidence is less clear because very few researchers have looked at these questions. In addition, the nature and intensity of the training in athletics and other sports is likely to have a major influence. So we are currently investigating season lengths and multi-event participation to try and shed more light on those questions. Another feature of the survey was that we asked parents and coaches to give reasons for their answers, and there were some very stimulating quotations in the paper, which could prompt discussion at coaching forums or in clubhouses. Here are some examples. If you find any of these quotations interesting, then you will find them discussed in more detail in the paper itself, which is freely available on ResearchGate. So some take-home messages. For coaches, I think it's really important to review your understanding of healthy youth development activities. There's been lots of really useful and practically applicable research published in the last few years. So a review of that might be very useful to ensure you are delivering best practice. And for researchers and coach developers, consider whether more nuanced guidance may be provided for parents and coaches. Is the message that you are communicating about what healthy youth sport looks like detailed enough? And how clearly is it being communicated to these key stakeholder groups. And by all means, engage researchers to gain further clarity. A really good first step in terms of some guidelines to follow is the International Olympic Committee Consensus Statement on Youth Athletic Development, particularly if you're working with adolescent athletes. And for anyone working with younger children aged under 12 years, certainly consider looking for iCoach Kids, an excellent European project which has published some really useful, really detailed guidance as well. If you want to learn more about this particular project, please check out our Developing Youth Track and Field Athletes project on ResearchGate, or feel free to drop me an email at the contact detail there. Thank you.